All right. So, webinar, you are in a Zoom meeting with us. Welcome. Very happy to have you here. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the business programs. We're going to have an overview and a program feature. We're going to talk about the legal programs. We're going to listen to a fabulous Jacqueline. We're going to talk about Jacqueline in just a minute. She's going to talk to us about practicum and career services. And then with me today, we have finance, admissions, and career services, so that if necessary, you can meet one-on-one with them with any specific questions that you might have. As I mentioned earlier, I am Bonnie and I am the VP of the Fun Admissions and Finance, the very beginning of your journey. With me today, we have Asil. Asil is our campus director for online, and the programs we're going to be talking about today are all offered in our online division. Ashley is not with us today, but she is our faculty head for our business programs. We have two instructors, Sandra and Patricia. We're still hoping they might join us, but I did start a little bit early. Jacqueline is here though, and Jacqueline is one of our very fabulously talented career and practicum service providers. Jacqueline, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I'm glad to be here this evening.
Thanks, Jacqueline. And we have Craig. Craig is a student admissions advisor. He's also the team lead for the advising team, so he is the guru of all things admissions. And we have Rosemary. When with admissions comes finance. Biggest hurdle for coming to school is how am I going to pay? What does that look like? Well, that's our job. We're here to help you with that. And Rosie is a big part of that team. She's our finance manager. Rosie, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Rosie. Also on our panel today is Jim. Jim is another one of our fabulously talented admissions advisors. Between Craig and Jim, we're hoping we can answer all of your questions. 16? All right. So I talked about how we're going to be delivering, or how the programs we're going to talk about today are all delivered in our online division. What does that mean? So in the old days, online meant here's a big cardboard box with a whole bunch of books in it, and when you're done, send them back. Well, we don't do it that way. We have a whole new and really amazing way of delivering our online. It is called 20% synchronous and 80% asynchronous. So the word synchronous means with instruction. So that means 20% of the program is in front of a live instructor, and 80% asynchronous is without instructor. So that means you're doing it on your own. You will be asked to attend 2 live online lectures a week and do 4 attendance activities. Those could be discussion posts or quizzes. The live lectures are delivered Tuesday and Wednesday mornings from 10 until 12, or Monday and Thursday evening from 8 until 10. You get to pick any two of those. You can do a morning and an evening, 2 evenings, 2 mornings, doesn't matter. Whichever two work with your schedule. So what is online? When you join online with Willis College, you're going to join a highly interactive online program. You'll engage in Zoom sessions twice a week with expert instructors. You'll have access to same-day class recordings, daily office hours, and robust support from dedicated staff. You'll have all the tools you need to succeed. You're going to participate in structured discussions, collaborative study halls that foster a vibrant learning community. In online at Willis College, you're going to gain essential skills that are directly applicable to your career. That's where we have the most success. You're going to have the skills you need to work in the field of your choice. You're going to experience flexible, engaging, supportive educational journey that's going to propel you towards the goals that you're seeking. That, my friends, is Willis College Online, and I'm excited to take all your questions today. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the business programs. There are four main business programs. Those four business programs are the Business Administration Management Program, also called the Executive Business Management Program. It is 46 weeks. There's the Human Resource and Payroll Program, Accounting and Payroll, and Admin Assistant. The really cool thing about these four programs is they're actually nested inside each other. So what you can do is you could start with accounting and payroll and do 32 weeks. And if you decide you want to progress to human resources, we add 7 more weeks, and all of a sudden you have a diploma in human resources and payroll. You add another 14 weeks, no, another 7. I can't do math. Then you would have your business admin management diploma. They're all nested one inside the other. You can choose just to take business management or start small and build up. The admin assistant. The admin assistant is 23 weeks. It has a 2-week practicum. It's really focusing on customer service, entry level, getting you into an office setting. It's a really great way to get into an office and progress. You're going to learn all of the Microsoft programs, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel. You're going to learn some web design, some accounting, and some QuickBooks. Next level up is accounting and payroll technician. This one is 32 weeks and it has a 4-week practicum. It's less than 1 year, you guys, 32 weeks. In addition to everything you're going to learn in the admin assistant course, you're also going to learn QuickBooks, Sage, and personal taxation, as well as payroll. So we're taking that admin assistant to the next level. Leveling up one more time at 39 weeks, also with a 4-week practicum. We're going to build on the accounting program and we're going to add recruitment and retention, change management, and human resources management. So now we have admin assistant, accounting and payroll, human resources and payroll. And then we're going to level up to the big guy, executive business administration, 46 weeks, 4 weeks of practicum. This is all built inside that nest. This 7 weeks, we're going to be adding marketing, project management, and business management. This will give you the big diploma that gets you into almost any position in any office, anywhere. So I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to ask Jacqueline, just for a couple of minutes, Jacqueline, can you talk about types of practicums our students with these diplomas could expect to go on?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of flexibility with these programs. It really does set you up to work in a variety of different settings. It could be anywhere from a small personal business to a larger corporation. We've had individuals complete placement within hospitals, within municipalities. There's a lot of opportunity.
Thank you. Just answering a question from Wilson. Thank you, Wilson. That's a great question. All right. Still, because Sandra isn't here, I'm going to turn to you and ask you
Absolutely.
a couple of questions about the business program.
Absolutely, Bonnie.
So can you tell me a little bit about the way the schedule is structured? How many things am I learning all at the same time?
So let's say if we look at the big program, the Executive Business Administration program, first 7 weeks, we tap into a little bit about the soft skills in combination with the Microsoft Office package. So that gives you a little refresher around the technology, which most organizations do have ongoing, and that exposes you to the applications such as Excel, Word, which are primarily used heavily in the organization and transition into main courses. And a lot of emphasis in the EBA program revolves around projects, which are bite-sized projects. Now, emphasis could be on payroll, it could be on forecast, it could be on ethical dilemma that often, is very evident in workforce. So, combination of a lot of things as they work from soft skills to the core courses, accounting courses, a little bit of emphasis on human resource marketing, also an element of strategic web design is evident as they work towards the end of the program.
Awesome, thank you. So, how much emphasis in the business programs is there put on the soft skills, the communication, the customer service, the computer skills?
A lot, I would say, because if you look at the first program, let's say administrative assistant, let's say you are at the front end and you receive a call from a potential customer asking you to explain what would be the easiest route for me to make it to your location, and I'm at the airport and I'm new in the town. If you have that ability to explain and provide that, step by step minor pieces of information, provide them the correct tools to look it up. That's why communicating the business requirement, what is expected, what are we looking for, is one of the biggest things that we often hear from guest speakers as well as from partner employers. That number one, they always say, is your ability to communicate. So never put less emphasis on the soft skills component. Therefore, Willis has soft skill 1 block, soft skill 2 block for programs, and it's just an great package. In between, you learn the activities that are important and can be adjusted based on the organization, such as EBA program. You learn both software, such as Sage and QuickBooks. Certain organizations use one, others use different one, but you have a great package to learn the tools that you need to put into workflows.
Thank you, Asil. I'm going to put Craig on the spot a little bit. So, as part of our business programs, we have introduced two new business programs. Those are our data analyst and our business intelligence analyst programs. They sort of fall under technology, but they sort of fall under business. So I just want to briefly touch on them. Craig, can you just give me just a little summary of the BIA, Business Intelligence Analyst Program? How long is it? What sort of things might I learn in that program?
Sure. So the business intelligence program is again part of a nested faculty. So what this program does is it builds off of the data analyst diploma, and you cover all of that content in there. So the foundations of data, so sourcing data, databases, advanced Excel, looking for patterns, things like that. And then the next step, the business intelligence, that is like the communication and visualization side. So you're using that data and translating it in useful ways for different companies and businesses. So it could be things like generating company KPIs. It could be things like risk management. You use Power BI. But you could apply it to anywhere, like logistics, for example. So that's the business intelligence side. And then it does touch on some basic AI. So AI for machine learning, using AI to automate some of those processes. And similarly, it does have a practicum placement. So it's a pretty robust practicum at the end of the course. You would be in a business for a total of 2 months to complete the practical skills.
Awesome, thank you. Let's step into law. So we have two legal programs. We have our corporate or our legal assistant program, which is 34 weeks and has a 6-week practicum. Corporate legal assistant, criminal legal, secretary, legal assistant for litigation. These are some of the offices that you could work in if you were a legal assistant after 34 weeks. Law clerk, it is 48 weeks with a 6-week practicum. Some of the jobs that you could do: land title examiner, legal researcher, notary public, real estate law clerk. So many different things in here. So, legal programs, very unique at Willis College. Willis College, because we deliver online, we deliver our program to students coast to coast. Every single province in Canada, as well as Nunavut and the Yukon. We are very privileged to be able to reach students all over the country. But that means if we're teaching you legal, you need to know the legal mandates of your province. Telling you about the Ontario ones isn't going to be helpful if you live in BC. We do that at Willis College. You tell us where you're from, and you will learn the legal precedents in your province. All of the projects have been set up province by province. So the teacher will teach the Ontario, the Alberta, the Manitoba, the Nova Scotia, all of the different provinces, so that you have real case studies and real legal forms from your province. This is a huge advantage when you get into your practicum, because you're going to do your practicum in your own province. You're definitely not going to do it in Ontario if you're not from Ontario. So we want to make sure that you know the legal forms in your province. So in class, in the legal programs, you're going to learn your province. Very unique way of delivering this program. Our instructor, Patricia, has over 20 years of experience in the field, and she's really good at delivering the flexible learning options of our online Willis College division. Two main programs, law clerk and legal assistant. Asil, I'm going to look to you again here and ask you to please tell me a little bit about what it's like to be a legal student.
You have to be very punctual. Timeline is of real essence there. It's very similar to, let's say, uh, s- uh, as law clerk, you're working on an immigration file for a client and you need to submit a request, which is from IRCC. There's a deadline to it. So that's number one, which we hear from graduates as well as from potential employers, that you have to be very punctual. Other is lots of reading. You have to set time regularly to ensure that you are spending time to read material before the class start, work on the assignment. Citation is another big thing, that your research, wherever you're pulling the references from. Other is also a lot of mock interviews in the classroom sessions as well. They role play scenarios, so that requires you to put in significant time to prepare well. Also, the structure is designed in a way that you're dealing with clients. Research again becomes, time consuming sometimes in a way, given that, depending on the province. For example, if you're writing one report for a provincial nomination program for Alberta, the report could be maybe summarized in 5 pages for a given topic, whereas the same topic for province of Ontario could actually be 12 pages. So it's just the nature of the law, where you would have to adjust to that. And at the end of the day, it's just about keeping up with the legislative pieces. Even after you graduate or you're out there, you do need to continuously research and keep up with the changes that are taking place. And instructor does a great job integrating all different provinces and territories when they are teaching the material. So those are the little nuggets and pieces, Bonnie, but there are a lot of other detailed parts that when they enroll in the program, instructor walks them through. The soft skills is slightly different for the law programs when we compare it with the business programs.
Awesome. Thank you, Asil. Jacqueline.
Hello.
Hi, there you are. Can you talk a little bit about practicums in the legal field for us, Jacqueline?
Certainly. Just like the practicums in the business field, we are here to help students when it comes time to find your practicum opportunities. With that being said, there is a array of places we can explore. So we'll have a chat with you about what your ultimate goal is, and that will help us when the time comes for placement. With that being said, We can look at law firms for practicum, both big and small firms. We can look at courthouses, police stations, insurance firms, real estate organizations. There's lots of opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacqueline. When I'm getting ready, if I'm taking law clerk and I'm getting ready to go out on practicum, and maybe there's an area that Patty taught me that I'm like super excited about, and I want to be in civil litigation. Can I have that conversation with you so that we can approach something in that area?
Absolutely. We welcome the conversation of where your main interests are and what your ultimate goal is. So we will set aside time to sit with you, have a Zoom meeting, see again what your preferences are, and we'll help explore that as a possibility. We cannot guarantee a specific organization or a specific placement, but we will certainly try to get something that aligns with your goals.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacqueline. Wilson, that's a fabulous question. Do we teach human rights? So in every aspect of law, human rights is included. We don't do it as a single entity, but it is part of each and every piece that we teach. Criminal law through civil litigation and even into real estate. Human rights have a part of all pieces of our curriculum. I hope that helped. Craig, can I ask you to speak to the admission requirements for both the business programs and the legal programs?
Okay, so for admissions, we could look at a few different options for students to meet the admissions requirements. So, first of all, if you have a completed Canadian secondary or post-secondary education and you have access to those documents to share with us, we can rely on that for admissions. If you have overseas post-secondary education and you have a WES evaluation, something like a WES or an ICAS evaluation that gives it an equivalency in Canada, we can also use that for admissions. Or if you are applying as a mature student, we can send you a mature student assessment free of charge for your admissions application. So when you meet with an admissions advisor, we'd speak with you and we'd find out which sort of category you fit into, and then we'd help you apply with one of those three means.
Thank you. At this point, we're going to open up for our guests to ask any questions of the panel. Please ask any question. If you want to verbalize your question, raise your hand and I can give you permission to speak, or you can type your question into chat. Alternatively, I have set up some breakout rooms where I can put you in with admissions, with finance, and with career services so that you can have those conversations in a more private setting. So we can do this any way that you're comfortable with. This is about making sure that you know how this works. Wilson, employment law. Sil, do you know if employment law is covered in our curriculum?
I would say yes. Yes, they do talk about it. I think Patricia mentioned it.
Yeah, I seem to remember a project, but it's been a while, so. Okay, any other questions? Would anyone like to meet with admissions or with finance or with career services one-on-one? I'm happy to put you into a breakout room with them so that you can have a more private conversation. You can meet them face to face. It's a great way to have the conversation.